My gosh. This awakening makes you spin. What? 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 One minute you're seeing through the eyes of flesh, the next you're seeing through the eye of spirit, and then you're arguing. You're like, dearest eyeball with a pupil, many a fortnight have I wanted to write to you about how you are wrong and I am right. And then the eyeball says, bro, I'm right, you're wrong. I can see this world, you can't. And there's this battle going on between flesh and spirit, the unwritten word and the written word, and all this stuff going on, people bickering and fighting, including myself, about what is the truth, and the truth being so difficult to pinpoint. And yeah, it is crazy stuff going on right now. My name is Mary Moses. I am an oracle. I've been doing scrying readings for over 15 years, for about almost 6 years on TikTok. I just came back from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, where I went to Edgar Casey's grave. Hello, sunshine. Thank you so much, my dearest love. And well, wow, saw some truths there. Was thinking I lost my mojo. I was like, I don't need to do scrying anymore. I think I've lost my mojo. But just in case I didn't, I'm going to go to Edgar Casey's grave and just scry just to see what I see. Probably see nothing but, Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, whatever. And I saw some pretty significant stuff. And anyway, it makes me second guess and question everything. But anyway, I think for me, I'm a mirror. I'm a piece of glass. And when you get in front of somebody who is, not enlightened or not full of knowledge or hasn't awoken fully, we are mirrors and we mirror them. So their truth does seem true. It does, because we're mirrors. I'm mirroring you. Your truth is true. I see you. I see that your truth is true for you. Yay. But do I have a personal truth? Because I feel like as an oracle, I'm supposed to be like nothing and yet everything. I'm just like a glass. And when I mirror, I allow that reflection to absorb into me, and it can be damaging to me. So I think the looking glass has to be clear, where it isn't, I don't know what I'm trying to say, polarized to any belief or religion. At least I think a good thing to say is we are in the process of figuring things out. So you are in the forest part of Forest Fairy. Here we have the Mad Hatter, the Wizard of Oz, the Tree Woman, Forest Fairy. We have a double dodecahedron, one of the most powerful sacred geometrical shapes on Earth. We have robots, Grumpy Bear. We have angels. We have things that reflect prayers with our actions. And so here you're going to learn some things, not just scrying. Scrying comes from the origin of the word script or scripture. It is basically your ability to learn symbology, numerology, sacred geometry, and hear the invisible word of your biofield. See, your biofield is invisible. Your double born again self is invisible. This invisible self speaks to you, but it doesn't speak in the form of the written word. It literally sends you telepathic images. These images come in squares, circles, triangles, in the form of a boat, a car, a house. And they have either communications of power or pain. And so knowing what these symbols mean, knowing what your higher self means, really gives you an eye to be very sharp as to what's going on in the world. And then you know what is your enemy and what is your friend, what is good for you and what is not good for you. And my general rule of thumb is we are following life energy and letting death energy go. Today is Judith's special reading today. So hello, Judith. I'm going to look to see and make sure that you are here, my darling. Like a reflector. Yeah, someone just asked a reflector. Yeah. I think for me, I'm told to not mirror because it's, Medusa, you could only use a mirror to defeat Medusa, right? I don't know, for me, because I'm an oracle and I read for many people who are Satanist, Buddhist, Christian, Islam, they have their dear beliefs, their sacred beliefs. And as an oracle, I have to be clear. I can't judge anybody. I can't try to pull them into my way of thinking, right? Otherwise, I will give them a reading that's polarized by me. And that's not truth. That's a lie. So my brain goes back and forth all the time. So because I read for so many of you guys and all of your truths are like, yeah, I can get that. I totally get that truth. There you are, Judith. All right, so here we go. How we begin your reading is I decided to get a big piece for you today. I also decided to do something because and I wanted to remind you, this video is 18 years or older. All right, so I'm not going to be cussing. We're not talking about anything inappropriate, but we are talking about things that most people will be triggered by. Oh, thank you so much, Diana. Thank you. Who did that? Thank you so much, Diana. And we don't want people to be triggered, do we? Here's what I'm going to do, Judith. And don't feel obligated at all. Do what your higher self says. But your second piece is going to be on a piece of wood. And I'm going to turn it into a divination piece. And if you feel like purchasing it online, you can. I will have it available for you. But it's just a way for me to do art and have it available to the public. But it's what it's going to do is it's going to hang on the wall. You can spin it while it's on a screw. And wherever it lands will be a divination piece for you. It will also glow in the dark. And nobody else in the world makes it but me. So I just was told by Spirit to do this. So if you live far away like California, the shipping for this will probably be like $50 just to be aware, just so that you're aware that shipping is a jerk. And don't think I'm a jerk. I'm not a jerk. Sometimes I am. All right, so let's have fun with me, the jerk. And let's pull a card for you, Judith. I'm going to connect with your energy now. I'm going to hit a frequency fork. Ah ha ha. What is this? Here we go. Spirit, show Judith exactly what Judith needs to see today, that it will transcend until tomorrow and forever. Let Judith see that she has support from the spirit world, that she's not alone. And let her feel love in this reading, but also tell her the truth through me. Thank you. Let's get some objects from the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is an alchemical, symbolic communication about your biofield. I could prove it. We could talk about it for 2 hours. We won't do it right now, but trust me, it is inclusive of the Corona Borealis and Sirius B the Dog Star and all of that. But for now, we're going to have fun and sing the Wizard of Oz. I'm going to show you what is on your yellow brick road today. You ready? Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you find me, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Oh, are you Cinderella? You have to be home by midnight. Are you going to be given the shoe? Oh, you have all three characters. You have the Tin Man, you have the Lion, you have the Scarecrow, and you have the heart. And when it opens up, what? You go from the number 3 to the number 4, to the 4th heart chakra. You have a ring. You have 2 triquetras made out of gold. What? And I don't know what, but a hair clip represents power for your hair. We have Edgar Casey here, who's also going to be helping us today. We're going to put his picture right here. So Edgar Casey is here. And we're going to talk about how Cinderella was in a jerk world by a jerk stepmother and stepsisters. And how we move away from the trinity of pain, the inversion inverted reality where the stepmother and the two sisters represent a trinity of pain to a trinity of power. All right. So this is all about the triquetra for you, where the scarecrow, the tin man, and the lion represented pain. But guess what? You have the labradorite, and we're entering into a world that transcends pain and turns it to power. Let's follow the yellow brick road and tap your heels together 3 times. Are we ready? Let's pull a card for you. You have the number 17, gratitude. Gratitude. Don't think that it's about being grateful necessarily. It may be that your higher self works very well with compliments. Possibly. Your higher self says, give me compliments. I need compliments. All right, Edgar Casey, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure the light is pointed at the paper and not at me, silly. That's one thing. I know that it's going to be kind of large today, so we're going to span like this. But we're going to anoint your piece. Anointing is basically raising your frequency. A healthy human being resonates between 70 and 100 hertz frequency. A person with a compromised immune system, your frequency may diminish to 60 hertz or less. A Jedi, guru, or a master will often wear cloaks made of linen because linen emits 5,000 hertz frequency. Frequency can be life or death. Death begins at 25 hertz. So we're going to give life to your tree here. Paper is a dead tree. Charcoal is a burned tree. We're going to bring this tree back to life through frequency and through the power of anointing. So believe in the power of anointing right now, Judith, that you are stepping into the realm of power. There are rules in the realm of power. You will see who your higher self is. You will get to know some things about the symbols being brought forward. And it's up to you to decide whether what I'm telling you is vibes with you. And it's up to you to talk to your higher self about it, because if I say something that's wrong, that's not right for you, I don't want to be responsible for being a liar for you. I want you to know that what I feel is coming through for me, as the Holy Spirit or my higher self coming through for you, I am doing my very best to give you the knowledge that I know and bring about the truth and the transcendence for you so that you are not ignorant and asleep and following death, because death is ignorance. All right, knowledge is power, but it has to be a knowledge that is true for you, not just for me. So let us begin. And I already know what song Spirit brought for you. So we're going to play that while we do your piece. Okay, well, what we have so far is a Kundalini awakening for you. And Kundalini awakenings are not necessarily enjoyable for some. And you're shifting towers. The Kundalini represents a coiled snake. It's called the cosmic electricity. And you have a heart chakra here. You are in the heart chakra. You're in the color emerald. You're going to be seeing communications from green things. So Osiris is green. Emerald City, green. Emerald tablets, green. The matrix, the green zeros and ones of the matrix, green. And so you're in the green color. So you're in Emerald City, the letter M being the number 13. Now the snake makes 3 eyes here. This is called the third eye, and there's many secrets to the coiled snake. And there is a god that is a male god holding a tower, and it's a clock tower. And the one hand of this god is going through a portal and putting their hands through a portal, and I'm not sure what that means yet, so let's continue looking. What I currently am seeing is the burning of towers, the falling of towers, and this is timelines, and how timelines are falling away for you. And so this means that I don't know what's happening, but in this new world, it's like you wake up and you've shifted timelines, and you're like, what? And then like you feel like, I don't know, it's very strange. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't feel the same as I did yesterday. Things are different. People are different, and it's hard to catch up. It's very difficult to feel normal when it's constantly changing, because I see another tower over here and another one, like little clocks falling, towers falling towers that have clocks, and oh, that clock doesn't work anymore. Bye-bye tower, bye-bye timeline, right? So you're trying to stand on solid ground, and you're literally standing on a book, but it's almost like there's something about you that's like the song Standing on the Promises of God, you know? The written word is now being destroyed for those of us who are hearing the unwritten word. And so standing on the promises aren't about your, see, you have a Christ on the cross at your stomach on a hill, right? And so this is about something that's really kind of fading away for you. And I don't know if it's religion. I don't know if it's you definitely getting away from the written word and going to the unwritten word. But you have a very big lotus flower over here, huge actually. And this lotus flower has opened up, and there's somebody seated on the lotus flower. And this is about the counselors and this awakening, the ones who have been asleep within your heart, and things that we have not heard before, words that we have not heard before, communications we have not heard before, is now being cracked or opened like an egg. So what you're going to see is you're going to see gods like Aleph. This is the god El, the elephant, Aleph. You're going to be communicated with by elemental gods. And so this is not easy, but there's like a Noah or a Moses, and he's like bearded, and he's leading people out of looking like, he's leading people out of the matrix. So so this is he has a device in his hand, and it's like a living star of sorts, and he's holding it, and he has a sleeve, and he goes like this, and he's walking basically with his foot back this way and then his other foot this way, separating the waters here. So there's some big shifts. So this is your old self being activated, but ta-da, you get shifted over to this other self. And for some reason, this other self looks like Buddha. It's, well, they have a cloak on. They're They have a belt around the cloak. They're wearing a belt. They have a cat here, meaning you're not in the doghouse. You're not in the curse of Cain, the canine. This Buddha fella has something like this, but their face, it's shifting and changing in front of me because it's as if it's not a Buddha. It's this beautiful female, and her face goes like this, and it's like this, and she's very pretty, but at her neck is a Buddha. So I don't know how to say this, but it's you speaking the voice of the eternal ones, and you are being given a crown of sorts, like, and a lantern. There's a lantern being lit, and it's very beautiful, and it has a triangle going up, a triangle going down. It almost looks like a prison. But it's a light. And you're looking at that light, and the light is like shining on you. And so anyway, look at the Buddha here is kind of like laughing Buddha here at your throat. But you need to be aware that you have hair that goes like this. You have this thing in your hair. It goes like this. It goes down over the eye of Buddha. And you have this head that goes like this. And then your shoulder goes like this. And you're in a seated position. You're literally holding a crown. It's almost like you're the crown giver of sorts. Like this. And then in your other hand is another lantern or a crown. Lots of scientific symbols here. It's and you're in a seated position on a lotus flower. Now, this elephant is Aleph. He is holding a crown also. The crown is seated under or on top of a planet. This elephant is also in a seated position. Okay, I know what this means. And looking the same way you are. Okay. Sympathetic magic is mirroring the God that you desire. So if we left a world of suffering where Christ was nailed to the cross, he was ridiculed, he was judged, he was sacrificed by his own father. His own father was a God of child sacrifice. If we don't want to mirror that God anymore of suffering, then we have to mirror the God of power and the God of illumination, light, and life energy, right? Sympathetic magic was performed by many ancient people, including all the way back to Japan, where they knew that they lived on a continent that looked like a caterpillar. And they knew that their country had over 100 volcanoes. So they worshipped a volcano god, and they named this volcano god, and they would wear hats that looked like the opening of a volcano. And they called it the caterpillar god because they believed that if God made their continent to look like a caterpillar, then to mirror the caterpillar would be mirroring God, by extension mirroring power and life and immortality. So they would wear hats that looked like a volcano. They would and they would basically mirror and mimic the God of power with their body language, with their clothing, with everything, because they believed that if you mirror God, you will receive the benefits like a God. So notice that the elephant is facing right, you're facing right. Notice the elephant is in a seated position, you're in a seated position. Notice the elephant is holding a crown, you're holding a crown. Notice the differences and the similarities, okay? Now, look at where you left. You're leaving a reality where your heart chakra is being protected, and it looks as if you're mirroring a God that was not really in front of you. It's like you wanted to mirror a God of power, and it looks like you guys are not mirroring each other. So we can believe that we are worshiping a certain God, but if the body language and the actions do not align, then there is friction. There is not a balance with the center cross at the top of the mountain here. So that's the eye of the needle. The symbol of Moses is realizing that the people of Japan worshipped a volcano god. Okay, see how his head looks like a volcano up here? Moses worshipped a volcano god. Yahweh is a volcano god. But the Christians, here's what they did. They went to Japan and they told them, you fools, you guys are worshiping a volcano god and a caterpillar god. You guys are so dumb. And made them worship the God of the Bible, not realizing that the God of the Bible is a volcano god. So there's a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of ignorance when it comes to gods, when it comes to our interpretation of God, but also about sympathetic magic. So sympathetic magic is, let's say you want to live in a place where children are free and safe and innocent, and you want a place where all women have prosperity because they are the life givers, and that we live in a place where we have power to heal people, and we have power to fly and do things that are just and right and truthful and honest, all that. Let's say you want to do that. Well, you have to make sure that your actions, thoughts, and words are reflecting like a mirror that particular energy. This is how you shift towers. Shifting towers or timelines. Timelines and towers shift because it's very strange. Let's say we got mad at something or someone, and then our house is really filthy, and we didn't do breathing exercises, and we weren't cleansing ourselves, and we weren't being thankful, right? We weren't living in the moment. Well, suddenly you are mirroring a bad God by your actions, right? So therefore your timeline shifts and changes to reflect that timeline. So our actions, thoughts, and words have to mirror the elemental gods. So, and it gets even more detailed than that, because the God Aleph is the elephant. He is the one infinite God, and we are emanations of that God, like a mirror. But if we're mirroring something that's not that joyful, happy, powerful God, then we find ourselves in a place of suffering. So let's continue reading. I see what's happening here. I see this God is literally pointing toward the book. So this is a God of the written word. You might like to know that the God of the written word is named Hu, H-U. And the written word is made up of spells and curses, cursive writing. Spelling is spells, curses a cursive writing. God never spoke as a written word. The real God, Aleph, spoke as numerology, symbology, a burning bush, and many other symbols that are telepathic communications that originate from numerology. So there's a lot of things going on in the world in this awakening that are helping us to figure out, oh my gosh, we are being led out of Egypt, which is called the Matrix. And the splitting of the waters is basically our third eye, the cross that's in the center, being activated by the cosmic electricity of the coiled snake. So you're in the baptism of fire. You have fire here. And you need to understand that if you want to feel love every single day, you have to be it. So we have to mirror it. So here you are looking at the light and looking at power. And I'm not sure what's behind you here. So it's a lion. And you have symbols of something here. And this god is in a seated position, meaning non-action. But the flying one, the one that's floating and flying, means not bound to gravity. This god is bound to gravity. This one isn't. So there is a light behind this Moses-looking fellow. And so that's the crown. So let me show you what this looks like. So hold on. I'm going to show you all things gold. The crown. The crown. The light shining on your face. Here. This. So, and the lion is like yellow. The lotus flower is connected to Isis. Isis represents two eyes. Eyes. And I think that you're just being shown that this activation for you is going to show you how to shift timelines. If you don't want to get stuck in a tower of time, you have to make your way through sympathetic magic. Now, what was I going to do? I was going to show you something. Was it about Moses? Oh, I know. I was going to show you this. You don't have to call it magic. So, okay. All right. We have been freed from Egypt, which is the matrix, which is the constricted and limited consciousness that we have been restricted from. And we are on a global level being saved by Moses. This saving is taking and awakening ancient wisdom. This wisdom is taking us to the god Aleph. Aleph is connected to the god El, which is a communication of electricity, the elements, the number 11, the 11th house of Aquarius. What else was it? Elohim, El Shaddai. His name is Aleph. He means the one, infinite one. So the infinite one is the one that is awakening us away from the god of child sacrifice. All right. So basically, we are shifting away from a place of depression and misery. We are being freed, and the innocent is being free. So we are moving away from. See, it says right here. I can't read that right there. So, binding of Yish on Mount Moriah, Temple Mount in the city of Jerusalem. We are thriving and being guided from the infinite one, which is Aleph. Slaves or servants that were not allowed to control their time or timeline or their life. They were prevented from being taught or to read or to access wisdom, is now being unlocked by the infinite one, which is Aleph. Aleph is always coming forward as an elephant because Aleph sounds like elephant. The infinite one, the merciful one, wants to now prepare a slave nation to go from zero to infinity. And to learn about not the written word, but from the word that is more numerical. And I'm not sure if these Hebrew words are truth or not, but this is something that I was told. So we are leaving the matrix and we are being freed and we are exiting the matrix at night. So like a thief in the night, we are exiting, we are shifting timelines. And boom, boom, boom. So Aleph means the number 1. Beth means the number 2. Jamel means the number 3. Deleth means the number 4. And this is about the Mount Sinai. This is about Moses. It's all about leaving the matrix. So you're definitely leaving Egypt and leaving the matrix within your consciousness. And you're stepping into the full understanding of the Infinite One and the keys to accessing beneficial and pleasurable information that came from the source of universe, the balance of life. This is why you have the cross in the center. This is about the balance of life for you. You were locked out of the symbols. See, you weren't allowed to see what was actually in this book. You were locked out of the symbols. You were locked out of the Infinite One's actual healing information, entirely lost in translation to every other language and script. Not understanding things is also a form of death. We ask a pained sounding, why? Why are all these things happening to me, to us, to the world? And we tune out immediately when we stop understanding something. That the Infinite One is so amazing, beautiful, and good, all built into reality. And helps us to naturally adjust to the new reality that flows so perfectly and beautifully that we will need for nothing. But in order to really begin to step into this, we have to not only study, we have to study these sacred teachings that were kept and misinterpreted. And the true interpretation comes from Aleph. So I see that this is happening for you because of this elephant and all of this Eastern stuff here. We're going to go to a book called The Tower of Alchemy because you have so many towers in your piece. And I know that this is the written word. You're like, but Mary, you said the unwritten word and you're going to the written word. I know. What we're going to do is we're going to so that coiled snake is called arousing the dragon. And it is a secret. It's a secret that has been behind all spiritual works. And the Kundalini isn't what you're told all the time on YouTube or whatever. And it's something that cannot be forced. But before it can actually be activated, you have to use sympathetic magic. Now, some people take sympathetic magic very far. Like, for instance, literally dressing up in a cloak, seated on a lotus flower, and holding a crown to speak that I am going to use my actions to reflect, this very image, right? Anyway, so the most holy one within you is being self-realized, and you are becoming an evolved human. You are being activated, and you will learn to master the art of your avatar and your mind. You're going to learn to use action as sympathetic magic. If you don't want to call it sympathetic magic, then you're going to be calling it action prayers. Everything that you do is a prayer. So cleanliness is next to godliness. You're going to clean the house, clean your car, clean your thoughts, clean your beliefs, clean your emotions, clean your relationships. And this cleanliness is a prayer. But Kundalini literally means the coiled one. and it refers to the reservoir of the fiery power coiled at the base of your spine. It's a spiral movement that is a radiant energy that goes up your body, literally transforming you by the power of the Holy Spirit within you. And it is a cosmic electricity, and it is very real. And this cosmic electricity has to have all of the channels within your body unblocked. You cannot have a blocked channel for this Kundalini to rise up to your head chakra, because if it is blocked, it'll be fraught with danger for you. It will expose itself as drama and trauma in your outer reality. So self-purification is imperative before commencing this arousal stage. The arousal stage is arousing the dragon within you through not what's in this book, but sympathetic magic, according to this reading. Kundalini is cosmic electricity. It's a universal life principle, the conscious energy that takes form as all things and builds everything from within. The control of this energy in its subhuman forms by mental means is the primary secret of the great work. The cosmic electricity is called Kabbalah, and it is attributed to Chakma. It is the radiant yod force held within the medium of the first matter, or the womb of Bina. So if I were to see anything about this reading right here, is let's look at your feet. All of the symbols within this piece right here is reflecting any blockages that's happening in your chakras. So the root chakra at your feet is the written word. So if there's anything blocking you, don't be polarized by the written word, and be aware that the word has been misinterpreted for a long time. The gates have just now been opened for us to hear the truth, instead of being polarized by something that was inverted or false. So we go up to this area right here, and there's a cross on the center of a hill. The cross doesn't have two crosses on either side. This means the thief and the liar, right? So the eye of the needle is the truth through balance. So this is you balancing your solar plexus, and that looks good to me. We move up to your heart chakra, and you are holding love over your heart chakra, and it looks good to me. It looks like what Spirit is asking you to do is to have faith, stay in balance, be thankful, and feel love every day. This is fire. This is your head chakra on fire. This fire energy is the baptism of fire. It hurts if we do not burn away all that is false, if we don't get rid of the thief and the liar, okay? Then once that fire really gets blue, and it doesn't actually literally burn you, it's blue, then you become awoken to how to shift timelines and how to get out of certain times that are not in your favor. Being out of Cinderella, having to be at the clock tower at 12 o'clock, you're going to get out of 12. You're going to go to 13. Isis. Anytime these goddesses come forward as a vesica piscis that looks like a flower or fire, this represents eyes. So Isis is eyes. And this represents that your third eye must be single. So seek first the kingdom of God. And I see your animal dominating you here. That's good. Spirit always should dominate flesh, because your spirit is immortal. All of your memories are getting uploaded into your immortal higher self. And so they know your future. And so we submit our flesh to spirit always, all times. We are not bound by gravity anymore. We're bound by ethereal laws. And these ethereal laws give us power because we're doing the will of the Infinite One, which is Aleph here. To be clear, I'll show you what this actually means when it comes to your head. So when Moses parted the waters, this represented the two sides of our brain being split. Your brain is 88% water. The center of your brain is the center cross. It's the eye. And the center here is the sun. So this side represents the moon. This side represents the earth. The sun represents illumination. Okay. And then this represents protons. This represents neutrons. This represents electrons. Protons and neutrons die. Electrons live forever. So when we're talking about Horus, the bird of Horus is literally the inner bird that's in your brain. And this births a consciousness that awakens us to be able to create a Merkaba, and our consciousness can be untethered from gravity and can literally touch a divine realm. Except when you enter that divine realm, we aren't looking at the written word anymore. We aren't looking at two politicians anymore. We aren't looking at religion anymore. We're not looking at the ways of the world anymore. Now we're seeing through the eyes of spirit, and there's rules in the spirit, and that is you're going to start envisioning sacred geometry. You're going to get into sacred geometry. You're going to get into numerology. You're going to realize behind every pleasure and every pain is a sacred geometrical shape, and you're going to step into your power. Now, I don't know what your power is in this, although I do see that you are pushing forward the cat. Plato speaks of the cat called Katniss. So if you're in District 12 and you are Katniss Everdeen, then this is a communication that the way to get out of Katniss Everdeen is through the fire of the phoenix, and so that burning and that fire brings you out of District 12 where nothing is in your favor and into seeing through the eye called the cat eye. Now, the cat is also connected to Hecate. It's the three-faced goddess. But you have a lioness on your head and a lion behind you, and then a cosmic turtle up here also, and another elephant over here. You can see this elephant here. When you're thinking of elephant, the elephant was taken from his home, and it was sent to a carnival. The carnival has always been celebrated on 11/11, predating medieval times. 11/11 is a very serious time in our lives, which is El, the elephant. All right. So El is a pole shift. So if you're going through a pole shift, you're definitely going from one elephant to the other. So the story of Dumbo, the only way out of the prison of the carnival that's celebrated every 11 years, and the character 11 in the upside down world and the right side up world, is to grow your ears. And your ears have to be large enough to hear that divine Holy Spirit within you, obey it, and then mirror it through what you're mirroring here. It's called sympathetic magic. I encourage you to look up sympathetic magic and also to read about the benefits of Isis. It looks as if you are in something that is inside a fire tetrahedron that's like almost like a boat, and I see you in a Merkaba. Let me ask what your name is and what your power is exactly. So, first of all, you're the crown giver, and what they showed me was a Christmas tree. And there's a Christmas tree right here. And a crown giver is somebody who puts the star on the top of a Christmas tree. But what is the tree? It's your tree of life. It's, let me get a book and show you. Where are you? Book. The tree of life is proven or shown in many different ways. Christmas is the 12th month. The star at the top of the Christmas tree represents a human being who has their rainbow light body, so the tree has been activated. The top of the tree has a star on it, meaning the Kundalini awakening and illumination. The gifts at the bottom of the tree represent that we have stepped into a gift. If we look like that in the 12th month of our lives, like Cinderella in the 12th hour, then we get to go to a place in this area right here, and we become what some people call the babe of the abyss. We become a master, and we have to study all the time from that life energy. So why this person is holding their hand through a portal is, I really feel like in the Thief of a Night, through the night, we literally shift towers and timelines. We just all awaken to a different world. And it gets serious, where we didn't realize that our actions put us in a timeline that wasn't in our favor. And so we have to be careful. So the tree represents your Kundalini awakening and the rainbow light body. You're the crown giver. And in order to be the crown giver, you have to mirror the one infinite one. So let's learn something that you should be learning right now when it comes to numerology. When we're talking about Isis, we're going to look at this symbol right here. Eyes. Two eyes, right? Isis represents two eyes. The two eyes represents two towers. The two towers, like in New York City, looked like the number 11, right? And 9/11 equals 11. And the 4th of July is 7/4, which equals 11. And so this god El is, when you flip the god El over, it actually makes the number 13. And this is the letter M. And the letter M is the 13th letter, or you can spell it L this way. Well, the two towers reflected the letter W in the water, and this is 11/11. 11/11 is the carnival, the elephant, and the elements. There's 4 elements. And what this Isis energy is telling you is that you are going to learn about truths that are going to be a little scientific. So for instance, Isis, let's learn a little bit about Isis. She is she of 1,000 something. Let me see, I can't remember what she is. In the Sophia Code it tells us here. Okay, Isis is she of 1,000 names. You don't say. Isis has 1,000 names. Isn't that interesting? Well, I'm going to tell you what this god El, Aleph. So, Aleph often comes as an elf. Aleph, Aleph, Aleph. The elephant. The elements. Electrons that live forever. Electrons are immortal. Electricity. The elven ones. And 11. Okay. So, why is this important? Because the Aleph means the number 1. And there are emanations of the number 1, and they give you a clue as to who they are as an emanation. So if the one God is in the center, and the emanation of that one God spirals out like the Fibonacci sequence, they create tables. All right? When you're in the age of Pisces, you are the one in duality. So you are the second emanation of the one source. You are in Pisces. So you are in the 2 fish. So the way it goes is these gods speak through numerology. The one, if you are the emanation of the 1 and you are at the second table, then you are the number 10. They will come to you as the number 10. And oftentimes the number 10 is connected to the 4th heart chakra because the 4th heart chakra is the number 4. The number 4 is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. It equals 10. That's a big 10-4. So they always see the number 10 as the number 4. When you see yourself holding that heart, this represents that you are in the second emanation of the one God, which means that you are in the number 10. It means that you are awakening out of the second emanation, which is Pisces, and you're going to the third emanation, which is the number 100. So the emanation of 1, the third emanation is 100. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. The fourth emanation of the number 1 is 1,000. So when you are speaking to beings who are at the very large table that we see here of 1,000, this means that they are the fourth emanation of Source. And they have grown their soul, their knowledge, and their consciousness to actually become like a collective consciousness. And they come as specific names to talk to you about what they have learned. And then what happens as you walk this spiral like Dorothy, you will begin to mirror these beings who are simply a mirror of Source. They are a servant of Source. They are not here to hurt you, feed off of you, to do anything. What they're wanting you to do is to step into the realm of a divine realm and to learn truths that you've been kept hidden from for a long time. So many of us are just right now in the third emanation. We are in the 100. And then there are those who are real masters and they go to 1,000, and then you can go to 10,000. And then of course there's 1,000,000 here at the top. I don't know where that is, but Mary Magdalene, Isis, Mary Mother of Christ, they are always connected to 1,000, which is the fourth emanation. When you get into the number 4, you'll begin to realize, oh my gosh, if you're the 1 in duality, you're in 12. If you're the 1 who needs your Trinity, you're in 13. Osiris's soul was cut 14 times. If you're the 1 who is in the 4th emanation, then you are finding all the pieces of yourself like Osiris's body. The land of Oz goes to the land of Iris, the eye, and it actually looks like this. There's the spiral, there's the eye. The land of Oz is 7. The land of Iris, which is the eye, the goddess of the rainbow, is 7. And so this is Oz, Iris, Osiris. It's a frequency. So literally you're raising frequency through knowledge. And so many people who get into this numerical communication from the gods and they move away from the written word, they begin to carry around tokens or trinkets that has the number 4 or the number 1,000, or they get into frequency that exceeds 100 so that they can mirror and use sympathetic magic with God, with elements, electrons. What you might like to know is that all of us collectively are currently in the element of fire. So what does this mean? We are in wind or air. We are in the wind, air, and fire element. So when you're following the god Aleph or LF or the elf like Christmas, and you have to know what element you're in order to know how to behave. Because if you're in the element of water, you're going to want to read a lot of books. You're going to want to watch your emotions and your thoughts and all that. But when you're in the element of fire, this is you getting up and becoming and practicing a gift that Spirit is giving you. And so you're the crown giver. What does that mean in this current reality? It means that you have an energy that you're not wearing a crown currently. You're holding it, but there's a crown on top of this Christmas tree, and there's a light shining on you right here. It's like your head is like feathers right now. It's like you're learning about crown technology, which is the halo technology. Now, I'm going to tell you about halo technology, and halo technology is like the spiral, like this, that grows your spirit through knowledge. And it's incredible, the halo technology. I love the halo technology. It is a technology. I'll look at y'all's comments in a minute. Okay. So the halo is invisible. Women are said to have 3 halos. So you see all these rings he has around? It's like you have 2 crowns. There's 5 crowns that God gives. There's the crown of no more tears, the crown of immortality, the crown of truth. And I believe that you're being given the crown of truth. Oh, thank you so much for that gift. Thank you so much. Let me give a shout out to you. Hold on. Letty, thank you so much. Because you're standing on a book, I think that you are a crown of truth. This crown of truth is something that you will need to speak to people as it comes to you. So let's say that you wake up with the idea that you're pregnant with. You're pregnant with a truth that is in the center. You are pregnant with it. Well, you have to birth it out of your mouth. You have to speak it. And those truths will give people a crown of knowledge that grows their biofield. Literally, you're going to have to start speaking it out if you're not doing it. You're going to have to. It's part of what your higher self wants you to do. So some people have halos around their ankles, around their waist, around their neck, and even around their head. So what happens in the awakening process is that your Kundalini energy, as it's moving up the body and up the spine arc, the chakras, it starts to find clear passages through to the top of the head, which is the crown. And then some of the slides will flow out into the aura and will show, and oh, okay, she's talking about the images here. So why do we have a halo? It's really important part of our aura. It's considered a kind of energetic structure or body of the aura, and the aura has many different layers and different kinds of technology in it. In terms of awakening, it's one of the most important and sophisticated kinds. Sorry, they asked me to be verified. Sophisticated technology. It's a very protective energy. It protects you. It is a precious energy of the head. It joins with a strong aura to create an even more strengthened, radiant body that gives you powerful auric protection. Because as you enter into the realm of power here, you will need to be protected because we know not what we do. We don't know that our thoughts are actually hurting not only ourselves, but the collective, because as we expand up that spiral as an emanation of divine source, we might be thinking things that hurt not only ourselves, but others. And we can fall back into yesterday, right? So this halo technology helps to keep our energy clear. And so your halo is connected to your purpose, your gifts, and your abilities. And so what you came here for and to fulfill is deeply connected to your halo. And in the halo itself, you often might come with installed, but not active, a kind of light technology. The best way to say it, it's like sitting in the aura. It's inactive and it's waiting for enough of the light of the Kundalini or the light in the center of your Shakti to flow down and to descend into the bottom part of your spine and then ascend up into your halo. So it's basically fluctuating. Notice how bam, 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 and then you have the center, and you have the center here. It's something that is fluctuating, waiting for it to be really activated, and it needs help to be activated. As light starts to flow in, it starts to activate. And the things that were kept latent or even sleeping gifts that you didn't know that you had, become awoken. And you start to have spiritual abilities and wisdoms and knowings and technology that came out of nowhere like a thief in the night. And you're like, what? And then as this halo technology strengthens, people start to get this capacity to simply know things. You have insights about things. You receive information from other dimensions and levels of consciousness. And literally, you, as the information is coming in from other dimensions, you can literally begin to feel a halo vibrating around your head chakra. But right now, you're learning to fly your thoughts to the light and activating that crown and halo technology within you right now. It looks as if you're trying to stop the eye of the cat. I don't know why you have your hand like this. I'm not really sure. So what happens is your halo technology is your crown, and it receives and integrates and makes information available to your awareness. And so that when you start stepping into these gifts, you are becoming obedient to a higher self. Your higher self wants you to strengthen your spiritual muscle and feed your spirit, learn how to feed your spirit and balance your humanity with your spirituality, but most importantly, to seek first the kingdom of God, which is the world of the light from within you. And it looks like that you are, but over here, there's definitely, you're in between two towers, and you're learning to balance between the two towers. And the third tower is electrons, which is immortality. So basically, you're trying to jumpstart and activate a gene or an energy that's within your biofield that is trying to activate to get that immortal electron energy to enter into the halls of Isis. So it's like a plug-in of a computer, and people like shamans say that it's really special to see someone who is actually advancing or activating their halo, because it's also a purification. So you become so illuminated, and you end up having your rainbow light body robe here. So it's incredible. It's connected to the rainbow. It's connected to the rainbow light body. It's connected to the robe of glory. So when you get into alchemy as an alchemist, you may step into concepts called the robe of glory. And the robe of glory is so precious. The rainbow body is precious information. The robe of glory is precious information. So we're going to go to 131 and 133. So the robe of glory is the science of the sages. It is about stepping through the 3 lower worlds. And it is termed the solar or the rainbow body or the robe of glory. It is the sheath of the spirit. It is the hem of the robe of the glory. It is the pearl of great price. That's what it is. That's a pearl of great price. That's a pearl. That's exactly what that is. The pearl is called the philosopher's stone. The pearl of great price is called the philosopher's stone. And I saw it, a bright robe sent by God, making itself ready. I heard the sound of its tones. And you can literally, it is a sound. It is a gate and a kingdom that activates within you. And it is a stone brought about by the employment of Kundalini yoga and arousing the dragon. So it goes right along with what's going on with you. So I encourage you to read the Tower of Alchemy because it's going to have communications to you of exactly what you're going through and how listening to spirit and not the written word is paramount, and seeking first the kingdom of God, but also using sympathetic magic is paramount at this time. You may be a Lyran with the lion. Your higher self is coming forward as a lion, and you have a lot of lion energy, and it seems as if you are a goddess that is a crown giver. I'll look and see if there is a goddess who gives crowns, and just out of curiosity. Selene is the goddess of the personification of the moon, but I don't think so. Hathor. There's the crown of Kali, Artemis. Let's see, okay, let's say crown and the lotus flower. You definitely have the lotus flower. Anahita. Anahita comes from Persia and Iran. Her biggest symbol is the lotus flower. The waters and the rivers that flow through the center of the earth is the waters and the rivers that flow through the center here is Moses. And that's exactly what she's connected to, is the waters that flow through the center of the earth. Seems connected to you. She is the waters which flow upon the center of the earth. Okay, well, that looks like you. The heavenly goddess, the pure one. The crown giver. Zoroastrianism. Ahura Mazda. Golden channels of the warm and clear water. Waters becoming purified. Yeah, I believe that you really should look up Anahita and really kind of connect with their energy, because Isis and Anahita. Isis is connected to the lotus flower, but Anahita has the waters in the center of the earth, which is exactly what you have. I mean, I know it's hard to see with your eyes right now, but this is waters flowing through the center right here, like this, and then the waters go this way, like that, flowing through with Moses here in the center. Let's do your second piece. I'm going to pull this back. You're welcome to take a picture of it. The main thing that you should be studying is the god El or Aleph, and being aware of how to shift timelines, moving mountains. Through what? At this time, action. So what do? For me, are your doors dirty? Has your front door been cleaned? What about your windows? Because this prayer will say, you want opportunities to knock on your door? Clean and anoint your doors. Wash your windows if you want to see clearer. Clear the front of your yard, making no debris in the way. Clean your back doors. Clean your attics. Make a garden. Grow flowers. Feed the birds. Anoint your feet. Get clothing that represents high frequency. Do Kundalini yoga. Do meditation. Activate yourself with sound frequency. These are actions at this time because we are in the fire. Sympathetic magic is about you literally with your actions doing things that represent a world that you want to shift to by mirroring that world. Some people go to great lengths to mirror people like Edgar Cayce or whatever in order to connect with their energy. They mirror them. This is what actors do. Actors get so much into their character that they literally become that character and even suffer the consequences of that character's existence on this earth because they have an energetic imprint. And when you connect with them really strongly, you can suffer their energy. So when you enter into this realm of magnetism and the age of Aquarius, how we are using our mind is so much different than we used it in the age of Pisces. We are entering into the Trinity. So we're no longer the one in duality. We are not in Pisces, the 12th house anymore. Let's do your piece. And don't feel obligated to buy it. It's just something that I feel like it would be fun to do. What we're going to do is we're going to turn this into a divination piece, okay? And so we're going to ask Spirit to bring forward images for you and communications for you numerically and through sacred geometry to speak to you that transcends time. And so I think it's very fun to do. I will post it on my website, forestfairy.com, and you can look at it, and I'll also make a video for you about it to let you see it, because there's going to be a hole right here, and you'll be able to put it on the center on a nail and spin it. You could have guests come over to your house and spin it. It'll be like, what is this? Oh, you don't know. Something nobody else has. That's what it is. Ooh, I feel good, I feel good, I feel good, I feel good, I feel good. Ooh, I feel love, I feel love, I feel love, I feel love, I feel love. I feel love. Ooh. What I saw is somebody holding that pearl immediately. Immediately I saw a hand holding the pearl right here. I don't know why that shape keeps coming to you. I don't know what it is. It looks like a lantern, but I don't know. All right. We're going to turn it upside down. So 2024 is the year of the wood dragon. The dragon is part of Sophia and Isis, and they're talking about the fire and the power of a dragon. And it takes us to Eastern mythology and frequency, extreme low frequency. And what we have to realize is when we are in a certain world or reality, you aren't dealing with human beings. You begin to awaken that we are dealing with principalities and powers that we can't see. Some of the principalities and powers manifest as a dragon, a scarecrow, a wolf, people who are spiritually dead, the dead, people who are in the water instead of the fire. But when you turn it upside down, this crown turns into fire. So when you're dealing with people who are in the water, they're in the age of Pisces, they're into fish, they are stuck in time. People who are stuck are out of time are literally in the fire. So this is talking about 1111 water fire for you. On one hand, when you are in the crown chakra energy, you are dealing with powers that you are learning to see. And so this is literally showing you that a person that you may be dealing with may be a crown eater, and you don't know it. So we shouldn't have relationships or do anything with any human being until we can see them on the spirit realm, because we're not fighting flesh and blood. We fight principalities and powers. So these principalities and powers must be seen, and we have to be very careful that you are the crown giver, not to give away your crown, because literally there are energies that eat the crown, including the wolf. The wolf is eats the sun. And so your third ring of power, your pearl, is the sun, is electrons, is your halo technology, is the wolf. So for some reason you have these elves here, and the elf is extreme low frequency, Aleph, and the god elf. And this elf god is writing here. Usually it means that someone's trying to talk to you through humans. So he's saying to you, don't think that the people that you are talking to also, that they are jerks. You could be talking to a god and you don't know it. Because we as humans, we either have the Spirit of God within us or not. And the people who allow the Spirit of God to speak through them, you're being shown that God can speak through many people. So this is an elf, like the god Aleph, speaking through somebody's. And so they're literally writing on a piece of paper with a feather here, a man that is writing and saying, look, I have the ability to write things within your consciousness, your future, many things. I am the creator and the writer of existence and reality itself. I make things happen. So he's basically saying, I am the writer of reality. I don't know how else to say that. And think not that the people that you are dealing with, that they are human. You could be being tested by a god saying, this person needs their crown, and you give them a crown and you actually gave it to God, who is going to bless you for obeying what God is asking you to do. I don't know how to say that, but that's what I'm seeing. So this Aleph, elf god, and I don't even know if I want to call him a god. It is an energy that is here and speaks and works and helps us to upgrade our technology for many reasons. So there is a deer here, and a deer is about a deer, a female deer, and but this one is a stag, electricity. And a shield. So basically you're being shown a tower that you're holding as the pearl and the holder of the Philosopher's Stone, literally blocking thieves and liars, the ignorant scarecrow, people who aren't real, artificial intelligence. And at your feet is see, you're seated between two towers. Here's a tower, here's a tower. One tower is the liar. The other tower is something else. And then here you are, your legs make the letter M. Emerald City, anti-M. And you have a female inside there. You have a lot of male energy up here. Boy, 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 boy. And your energy is comforting to others. There's a boy here. Oftentimes, if you have relatives or if you have children or if you have family members, they come forward in your art. So I don't know if you have any children or whatever, but you have some energies here that are speaking about different people in your life. So I think that when you spin this is going to be good. This is going to be a communication. This is going to be I really think that lantern is about people who are either in the water or the fire. And as you spin it, this will turn upside down. So this is fire. But when you spin it upside down, it's going to be water. And it'll be communicating about whether something is good or bad. Because you have a crow here. Also. Now, the dragon isn't always bad, but it could be. You'll be surprised how this turns out when it's finished. So basically, the center of the circle will probably be about right here. And it's going to spin and glow in the dark. You're definitely the crown giver, though. Crown technology is Glenda. She represents the corona crown. She represents the corona borealis. It's the crown. So why does Glenda have a pink dress? Because she mirrors the corona borealis. From a microscope or a telescope, the corona borealis looks like a pink bubble surrounded by an emerald color. So her pink dress, the pink bubble, is the corona borealis surrounded by Emerald City, the emerald color. The corona borealis is called the labyrinth. So Dorothy walked a spiral called the labyrinth. When you get into the study of the corona borealis, you begin to see why Glenda mirrored the corona borealis. And so everything she did, including what she wore, mirrored where she was from, because that's called sympathetic magic. It's mirroring a powerful place in order to do the job or the will of God. So notice how you're dressed up. Like Cinderella, really. You look like Cinderella. Oh, she also looks like Sarah on the labyrinth. Yes, you actually really do. And you know, oh, thank you so much, Blanca. And the labyrinth, the movie Labyrinth, is basically numerically when she's looking in the mirror, which is the looking glass, and she says, "This is all junk. It's junk." Look in the mirror behind her. It says the number 13. They know this stuff. They know that once she breaks that mirror of illusion, she will enter the realm of 13. She will get out of the labyrinth, and the labyrinth was a prison for the Titans called Tartarus also. And so it was a place for humiliation, to be humiliated, in order to purify a spirit that was rebellious against the will of God. It's definitely the Philosopher's Stone. Yes, it is. And the Philosopher's Stone, to me, is just an awakening that you are nothing and yet everything. You're not a mirror of anyone that you're standing in front of. Let's say you're standing in front of a jerk. Don't absorb their energy. Let's say that you get a telepathic message that is really angry and evil. Stand your ground. That's someone else's thoughts infiltrating your thoughts. Let's say that you didn't eat properly and you're starting to feel yucky and tired. Well, these are feelings and thoughts that were either self-sabotaged, a self-sabotaging action that you did to yourself, or you are in the midst of someone who is very low frequency that you are mirroring. The looking glass isn't a mirror. It's becoming so clear that you get the eye of Noah. Noah's eyes were white. He did not have a black pupil. When he opened his eyes, the entire room lit up with white light. This represents that we all looked like that at one time, and that we are nothing and yet everything, no one and yet everyone. We're just an observer. So for you to say, I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that, not true. You can have a lot of gifts and powers if you want to, but all of your gifts and power comes from the infinite one, source. It's not yours. It never was. Your body isn't yours. Nothing's really yours. Now, you could mirror the world and become a great singer, a great actor, or whatever, and really you're just copycatting other people who came before you. You're really just a scarecrow copycatting the English language, copycatting a fashion, copycatting the way you speak. Everything is a copycat. Everything in this world is a program and a copycat. When you go back to innocence, your true self is just an observer. You're just observing. So to polarize yourself and say, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this and that, don't limit yourself to that. And be aware that oftentimes we can become a jerk because we were raised by a jerk, or we were around a jerk for a long time, or we believed in jerk energy for so long, or we were mirroring it for a long time and not realizing that our actions and thoughts were literally bringing suffering upon our laps, right? So the clear mirror doesn't reflect anything. It just sees through. You're just observing. You're just observing. Oh, let's say that you get around somebody who's perverted and you start having perverted thoughts and you're like, where'd that come from? Oh my God, I'm a pervert, whatever. You were just around somebody who was perverted. You're becoming telepathic. So don't allow that thought or that energy to take root in your thoughts or your biofield. What you do is you manipulate yourself. You go from that thought and you don't obsess about it. You watch it pass like a passing cloud and you turn on comedy. Because the best way to get rid of a jerk thought that was around you and not bring it upon yourself and let it become part of you is laughter. So you laugh at it, you laugh at yourself, you laugh. Joy is your strength. And get into comedy, find your favorite comedian, and your 0 point energy is the Philosopher's Stone. That you are an orb. Your orb can see at a 360-degree angle. You are an observer. You are neither good nor bad, right or wrong, big or little. You are an emanation of God who can do great and mighty things, but you will not get stuck in any world or reality or timeline because you have become a master of it, a master of your flesh, a master of telepathy, a master of your oracle abilities. I get stuck all the time. I get trapped all the time. I do. And I know I'm not supposed to. I know I'm like, my God, I polarized myself today and I am in a jerk world. But you know what? I don't know. I'm addicted to being a victim or something. And I just allow my emotions to pass and go back to my center, go back to my 0 point energy quicker and quicker and quicker. And before I know it, I feel sad or depressed, and then within 30 minutes, nope, I feel good. It gets easier over time, and this is us strengthening our 0 point energy. I am joy. I am a child. I'm an observer. I am nothing and yet everything, so that when I pass away, God says, look at who you were and what you did and how bad you were, or look at how, nice or evil you were to human beings. And you can stand in a very strong faith and say, I was never that human being. I was the observer of it. And have no guilt, because once we awaken, we watch our thoughts and our actions, and we maintain a 0 point energy, which is your invisibility. That's the Philosopher's Stone. And the Philosopher's Stone is that your true self looks like an orb, like a white light. An orb. An oracle. Isn't that funny that this picture right here is almost exactly like how your body language is right here? Isn't that funny? That's Owanime. Number 17, gratitude. Maybe see how you guys have the exact same body language almost with the arms? Maybe we need to read about that. That is 17. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Invite to uplift you with glorious feeling of gratitude. Gratitude expands awareness, opening your consciousness to receive. Every thought and feeling is clearly reflected in your body and the events you attract in life. You are deeply grateful to your body and all of its elements. You will attract health. Why not choose to focus on the perfection of your eternal self through gratitude? When experienced passionately, the 3 ascension attitudes of love, surrender, and gratitude become an invincible force of healing. Set aside time each day to thank God, the source of every good and perfect thing. In the morning, thank God for your life and dedicate the day to expressing divine will in all of your actions. Find little things throughout the day for which to be joyously grateful. Meals, parking places, green lights, kindness, everything. Thank nature for her gifts and the beautiful flowers and the sunshine. Music that you should listen to, the Hallelujah Chorus, Heavens Are Sounding, and Sinead O'Connor, Thank You for Hearing Me from the Universal Mother. I hope this helped you, Judith. I think you're doing fine. I don't see that you're stuck necessarily. I see that you are awakening through knowledge, and you're in a celestial school and you're learning sympathetic magic. And we want to go back to, sometimes for me, I want to go back to my old ways. When I look at the world, I'm like, oh yeah, you again, right? And I don't want to be that way. So we have to perpetuate what we really want to see with the world, and we have to mirror it. You're both looking in the same direction. You're both flying. You have a lotus flower. They're flying. So this means that you're learning. You're so welcome. Oh, thank you, Diana. Oh my gosh, you're an angel. Thank you. Thank you so much. This diamond right here is also very important. That triangle going up, the triangle going down is very important for you. This symbol, I don't know what it is. It's fantastic. Oh, thank you, Blanca. It's fantastic. I wish I knew what it was. I don't think it's a conventional alchemical symbol. It's not one that I've ever seen before. Well, there's this one. That's the Philosopher's Stone. Oh. Why wouldn't it be a stone? That's strange. I don't know. I feel like Spirit has something else to say about it, but we'll look at it later. The X that you're making over your chest is the number 10. So that's the 1 in duality. 12 o'clock, Missy. You're going to get your shoes, Missy. Oh, that's what he has. Yeah, you're being given the shoe. Yeah, it's a slipper. Ha ha ha. With a rose on it. All right, Cinderella, get ready to get your dress on and your castle. Leave the jerks. You're ready to leave the jerks? I'm ready to leave the jerks. Let's go. We'll run away together. We'll turn the pumpkin into a chariot. We'll turn the rats into the horses. The fairy godmother will give you a blue dress that represents the top part of your biofield. And you will go through the divine marriage. The divine marriage is called Aleph and Beth. It's the origin of the word alphabet. It's the original word. So thank you for your time. I had a great time reading for you. I learned some things. Elizabeth, you want to be read today, my darling? What is it that you want to hear? Let me follow you back. Anything in particular? Well, let me see what it said. I tried to follow you back. Oh, I requested to follow you. It's a private account. Anything that you're looking to hear? If you want to receive a reading, I just do them randomly in divine order. Just what Spirit has to say. Oh, you're so welcome, Dee. All right, Elizabeth, today's your special day. I want you to imagine that you have a green lollipop. It tastes so good, oh my gosh. And the lollipop gets larger and larger and larger until it's the biggest lollipop you ever saw. And it's not made of sugar. It's made of, honey and good things for you. And it's filled with peppermint, real mint leaves inside of it. And it has a bow on it. It's so beautiful and big. It's like, I don't want to eat this. It's so pretty. But it's a childlike energy. Why make giant lollipops? Nobody could really eat them. They really don't serve much of a purpose except that it excites your heart and soul. This is a communication for you from Spirit. Excite your inner child at this time. If it's a giant lollipop, so be it. You know how to make giant lollipops? You go to Dollar Tree, you get those clear plates, and you get a mop. And you take the mop off the top, and you use the handle of the mop, and you screw the clear plate to the mop handle. You stick it in the ground, you spray it with glow-in-the-dark spray paint, put glitter on it. You can make your own life-size Candyland game. Then you would be like, aha! And then your inner child would see a glow-in-the-dark Candyland game outside that you could play with your family all the time. And you know what? You can make it a weekend adventure. Of every weekend you guys make more lollipops, or you make characters, and you just make a cool place that it would excite not only you but your entire family to play a fun game. And then guess what they get as a prize? A real giant lollipop. I used to make them. I used to make hot chocolate lollipops with marshmallows. I used to make lavender and basil lollipops. And they were so big I had to use a bamboo stick to hold them because they were so large. And I used to have a life-size Candyland game. And we used to do birthday parties at them. And we'd have bubbles. And the bubbles were edible bubbles. You could actually eat them. And they tasted like bubble gum. It's like, what? And that's what I see for you. You need to activate your inner happy child at this time. So let's see what Spirit has to say for you. Let me get the mood. Let's get the vibe going. Okay, here we go.
Come to the right man because I'm the candy man. Who can make the sun rise? Sprinkle it with dew. Cover it with chocolate and a miracle or two. The candy man. Ooh, the candy man can.
The candy man can. The candy man can. 'Cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. All right, now let's get serious and see what Spirit is saying for you about where you are and what's happening, what's going on. I see a squatting man watching you. I think that you are definitely being looked at. I see a shield and energy of you shielding yourself and making sure that you maintain your invisibility at this time, because you don't want watchers watching you. Watchers watching is what I see. I see a baby, and this baby is like being protected. So birthing Horus, or this this new awakening within you, has to be protected. So definitely seeing that. Over here is the squatting man, squatting down, watching. He has a watching thing. There's the baby here, the like a golden, bright light baby being birthed, and then the shield is right here. Is the shield, and the shield is a mask, and so this is about the mask and the mirror. And the mask in the mirror says you can look at yourself, you can look at each other, or you can look at the face of God. Whichever one will tell you about you, essentially. So what I want to do is ask Spirit to show me where you are, and I want to see where Elizabeth is. Thank you. So first of all, they are insisting that I bring forth this energy right here, who is holding a staff that looks to me like it is a staff of electricity. You can see that the electricity goes like this, and then down, and then down, and then down, and it goes to 8. But it's electricity, and it was making the number 5 and going up like this, and it's like a rod of electricity. And for some reason it's a squatting person, like that, and like this, and they have this, and they have this, and they're like that. You're being told that you have to get into your biofield technology. There's an ancient, strange-looking god over here. Let's look at their face. Look at it very closely right here. It's a half woman, half man energy, deity. It's a bearded woman here. And it's half man, half woman. Very long dress, very tall. Very tall. It's half man, half woman. It's androgynous or something like that. Just be aware that it's there, and we're gonna look into it a little further. Okay, so I see you. You're drinking water. You're drinking from a holy grail, and there's something all over you or all around you that's coming from this. So this person's mind is coming out like a television set, and they're projecting images into a reality. And I don't understand it quite yet. Not yet. But here's your hand, and you're literally drinking from a cup. The cup has a cross on it, and it goes like this, then like this, and then it goes like this, like that, and then you're like here, and like this, and that. And the projected image is actually going in your ear. And it's coming from a projection. How about you, Edgar Casey? You gonna help us with this one? Help us understand what this one is. Because something ain't right here. Okay. Let's look at it back like this. Once upon a time, Inanna went to hell. And she got stuck there. They killed her. They hung her up on a wall, blah, blah. She wanted to get out of hell. And she was saved by a demon. And the demon was transgender. The demon was a fly and spied on Inanna in hell and saved her. So you have 23 or 46 chromosomes that makes you either male or female, right? But the androgynous ones have 22, which is 11, 11 or 44. 11, 22, 44. And they are neither male nor female. So it's like they have 22, you have 23. It's 22, 44 or 23, 46. It has to do with DNA. I don't exactly know, but the allegory of the story is that as the sun flips its magnetic polarity every 11 years, you go through a flipping. And this flipping shifts you from a lower world to a higher world. And these demons, the transgender male-female beings, save you from a lower world and take you to a higher world. Drinking from the holy chalice is connected to Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene is all about chalice study. In her celestial school, she literally, I think she's the one, and I was just reading about this, that she says she teaches you about the secrets of the chalice. So for you to be drinking from a chalice is whenever I see a cross, it's not about Christianity or religion. It's about understanding the balance of the elements and how to navigate the elements and not get caught. And so this person is fishing and trying to catch you. This person is a male energy that represents the physical. You are considered electric. So it's really Zeus, electricity, trying to catch you and trying to ensnare you into a belief, into an energy, into a projection of their world. So here's how it works. You are learning from a goddess. Apparently, it's an androgynous goddess, a bearded woman. And this androgynous, well, I guess you could say Mary, Mother of God, was androgynous, because androgynous ones can self-impregnate. Okay, so if it was Mary, Mother of Christ, then she had a beard. She was man and female. She self-impregnated. I don't know. But what it's saying is, all right, when I get around people who are polarized, and I know for a fact they are a sleepwalker, and through their actions, thoughts, and words, they cause chaos. They are agents of chaos, right? They do not know the balance of the order of things. When I get around them, my world and my life becomes chaotic. I even start having nightmares and bad things happening to me because the projection of their reality is projecting into my ear, by extension into my life, and it causes chaos. And I literally see somebody who's deceased over here. It's a man. And so he looks like, let me show you. He's like this. And they have death energy because they don't realize that they're asleep, and their actions, thoughts, and words are literally attracting suffering and death. And they may be really good people. Oh, I go to church every Sunday and hallelujah to Jesus. But they will go and eat at the buffet and be gluttons, and they will think perverted thoughts, and they will do things that actually contradict all of their words. They are agents of chaos. They do not have the balance of thought, word, action, and their life does not actually prosper in a peaceful and balanced way. So they literally, their thoughts create chaos for you, who is learning from beings who are the ones who get you out of a lower world, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So Let me read to you about the divine feminine that teaches chalice. The energy or the power of the chalice. I was just reading it yesterday. I think it's Mary Magdalene. She of 1,000 angels. Let me see if I can find the word chalice in here. I'm quite sure it's her. Oh, it says feminine Christ. Ah, feminine Christ. It's a bearded woman. Ah. My washer went out, so I was in the laundromat reading about this. And I was like, chalice? The power of the chalice teachings. I was like, what are the teachings of the chalice? I was surprised to see it. Okay, I think it's probably here. I have a feeling. You have come to the great halls of your inner temple to decide, once and for all, that you are finished with the agony and suffering of believing that your body's emotional biofeedback and limited awareness is responsible for the outcome of your life. Further, you are here to decide, once and for all, to take responsibility for the success of your life by actively surrendering to your higher self's overriding presence to fully operate and govern your human body and awareness now. This single free will choice has the power to inform the motivation and outcome of all your life choices. Choosing to follow your higher self's guidance does not mean subjecting yourself to any judgment or qualifying standard of perfectionist behavior. Rather, surrendering your awareness to be operated by your higher self means that you are on a journey of being mentored by your own divinity. In every challenging experience, your higher self mentors you in the art of responding to life versus reacting to it, guiding you to act with grace and move with purpose by recognizing what information your emotional guidance system is sharing with you. Your higher self also mentors you in how to courageously seek your happiness and fulfill your destiny while exploring the vulnerable and risky landscape of the unknown. And so, yes, but I will say that it's Mary Magdalene that I was reading yesterday who teaches chalice. It's like you're going into a classroom and she's like, oh, hello, I'm Mary Magdalene. I am the divine feminine Christ. Yes, I have a beard. Never mind. Stop asking me questions. And then says, I'm going to give you a study on chalice, the study of perfecting your and drinking from the chalice. It's called the chalice study. And this is teaching you how to maintain balance of the earth, water, fire, and air, which is the cross. Now that your box has opened, Osiris was put into a box underwater. And so when your box opens, it makes a cross. And then you learn the mastery of being able to balance your humanity with your spirituality, your emotions with your thoughts, your diet, and how you use your body, connecting with nature, and how to hear the voice of spirit so that you are not lost, a lost soul. So Remember that I am an aspect of your higher self, a messenger and a friend to service to your daily journey of self-mastery. You can call on me at any time to amplify the golden sunshine of your faith. I am always with you. I am the pillar of trust. She looks like a pillar. I believe this is who's talking to you right now. Definitely, she's an angel of trust, learning to help you trust in your higher self. So if I were to find it, I'm not finding it, but I will say that I think what you're learning right now is who you are and who you are not. You're going to have people projecting their world onto you, and that's not your world. When you feel them and you feel like they're judging you or something, you're going to judge yourself a little bit because you're going to be like, I feel them and I understand where they're coming from. And if you're not careful, you'll go, dang, I am a jerk, because you'll feel them and they feel right to you, right? We can't allow ourselves to be polarized by people who are sleepwalkers and people who have not gone through an awakening. They cause chaos. They are agents of chaos. They are polarized by the physical world and their physical bodies, which is electric. The divine feminine is magnetism. Mary Magdalene, magnetism is invisible. And the invisible magnetism basically helps you to drink from the waters of life and living waters and living truths that come invisibly into your consciousness. It looks as if there's a little struggle of being around individuals, male energies, who are still in a box. One of their eyes is still in a box. Even the words that they speak come from the box. A box is somebody who has not opened into a cross. When you realize that behind every pleasure and every pain is a sacred geometrical shape, you're going to want to start studying the circle, and you're going to want to start studying circular shapes. This is the divine feminine. Sharp shapes is the male, all right? And so male is flesh, physical. Usually our physical self is very worldly and is polarized by our logic and our brain and our ego. And then the divine feminine comes and says, oh, now your heart's in charge. Disconnect your ego from the matrix, reconnect your heart to divine source. You're all Gucci. Osiris was put in a box underwater. Underwater is the two fish. You are the one in duality. You are stuck in time. The box is connected to the number 12. 12 hours, 12 months, 12 zodiac signs. Down here, nothing is in your favor. You're in a prison. When this box opens, it turns into a cross. Once the cross has been opened within you, you learn to get off the cross and stop taking on the sins of the world. Stop taking on everyone's aura, biofield, perception of the world, and you begin to hear a higher self that helps you to balance fire, water, earth, and air. So once you begin to maintain 0 point energy through your actions, thoughts, and words, and how you envision thought forms of God instead of earthly thought forms, it's a school. It's a celestial school. You're entering into a celestial school. So this androgynous being is invisible. It is neither male nor female. It is the balance of male and female. They are the ones that will help you birth, and for you to become androgynous, not literally but spiritually, where you birth like Virgin Mary, Christ consciousness, or Horus, Osiris and Isis birthing Horus, which means that you are the master that walks on water with your biofield. So your biofield is MW, the master that walks on water. If you're Dorothy, you're in the Wicked Witch of the West or the World Wide Web that goes to Emerald City or Auntie M. It means the 13th letter in the alphabet that dominates 12. And it means that you are looking for the number 3, which is moon, earth, and the sun. It means that you are stepping into a technology that is really wanting you to grow your thought forms, your actions and everything. Oh, that's the worst one I've ever made. It goes like this, and then like this, and then it goes like this, and then it goes like this. There we go. And eventually, you're going to go into the fourth one, which creates your olive branch, and this is really perfection here. So you're in a school. You're in a celestial school, and part of the celestial school is not listening to other people's versions of truth. These beings are emanations of you in the future, and they're coming forward to get you to not be stuck. See, the person is projecting a box in your ear, but the androgynous one is bringing you circular energies where the circle dominates the straight edges, female dominating male, right? But balanced completely. That's drinking from the waters of life. That's eternal life. That's the Holy Grail right there. That's the number 9. And you're just learning to decide who you are. So how it works, you get around going, well, that's not in the written word. You're not right about that. You're just crazy. You're just losing it. Because I know what Egyptian mythology is, or I know what the Bible says, or I've read the Quran, blah, 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 blah. And they're polarized by a box, the written word. And they're trying to project their energy onto you. And no, ma'am, your ear should always hear your higher self and your inner balance within you. But this here is basically, this person is, I guess they're standing on a stone or a tree stump, I think. And it's somebody who hasn't left the tree to become a flying being. They're considering things. And there's people who are still tethered to death and to their old DNA and to the black eyes. And we're closing our eyes, and we're making our eyes shine with the light of. And this person says, ooh, you're in the fire. Ooh, there's fire. This person says there's another person next to you. It's an Asian-looking, a child or an Asian-looking being. It's Eastern mythology. Their head makes a holy grail. And they're saying, get into all kinds of different perceptions of source. But this person's cutting your hair. And so anybody who's cutting your hair means, Samson and Delilah, he cut my throne, he cut my hair, and he took my hallelujah. There's people who can cut you from your own power because they're trying to project the square onto your circle. And no, sorry, not sorry. We're let the dead bury the dead. These people haven't learned yet. They haven't gotten out of the box yet. You are headed into a very balanced way of thinking and being, and just keep going and use your foundation of power to be joy. So laugh at them, laugh at yourself. Don't be polarized by low self-worth or self-importance. You're drinking from the chalice of truth, and these truths are painful. Anytime you see somebody biting into an apple, it's always a very painful thing, like the apple tree slapped Dorothy, or Adam and Eve were sent from the garden after they bit the apple, or Isaac Newton was hit in the head with the apple. Or if you watch the movie 300, the king Leonidas was eating a red apple right before they were killed. The apple is the apple of truth, and it is also it could hurt you. But it could also be very helpful if you can leave behind the old truth, the old way of thinking. That possibly our original form is both male and female, and that we were cut male and female in this reality in order to bring a divine marriage back again to our original form. But you're very large, and you have very large hands, and you have Eastern communications and Inanna communications, and very long hair that somebody's trying to cut. And I don't know who that is. Oh, maybe it's something in the future. Just be careful of the box. All right, the box is a prison. And I don't know who you are. I think that you aren't being shown like exactly who you are or who you are mirroring, although it says IEL, almost like Raphael, Gabriel, Lophiel. These are angels. IEL. And an angel is learning to become a 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle. A 45-degree angle is the master number 9. So you were sent down here to the world of the dead to learn to balance electricity with magnetism, to learn how to be in a physical body and yet maintain your balance and your holiness so that you can be something IEL. Looks like it looks like Raphael. It looks like there is a RA. And then IEL. So all the angels are usually IEL at the end. Let's see. There's Mikael, Jophiel, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Zachiel. There's Israfel. They're all dominating L. Lophiel. Now it looks like Ra. See that letter R right there? So you're Ra. Raziel. Raziel, the virgin and the child. Aha! 19. I would say so. Yeah, the virgin is an androgynous. She self-impregnates. Yeah, that's you. It's about knowledge. To the heavenly angels who possess God in humility and serve him with blessedness, all material nature and all rational life are subject. The name Raziel has the name Ra in it. That's the god Ra. That's the god of the sun. Means God is my pleasure. It's a Hebrew tradition that tells that soon after Adam was driven from the Garden of Eden, he experienced illness. Raziel gave Adam a book listing all the medicinal herbs that could cure every possible illness. So even before the illness manifested, the cure was created. This shows us that knowledge, caring, and health are the goals of creation. Raziel inspires us to find pleasure in knowing God. Raziel is deeply involved with us, bringing the knowledge we seek when we encounter certain mysteries on our spiritual path. These mysteries range from finding the cause of personal illness or self-destruction behavior to having the desire to access and understand universal truths. God has unlimited power to know all things. Spirit knows each of us intimately, and being the supreme consciousness actually knows the number of stars, blah, 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 blah. The Essenes were great students of universal knowledge. They perfected a learning method like no other, teaching us to open to the source of universal knowledge. The Essenes combined the 3 recognized pathways to discover the eternal and unchanging source within. The first path is intuition, which the prophets and mystics followed, led by Zagzagel and Amatiel. The second is nature, the view of scientists, guided by Ariel and somebody else. The third is culture, the vulture of literature and the arts, Lophiel, Jophiel, and Israfel. So it's basically you following your intuition and getting into, well, I don't know, it looks to me like you might be into medicinal herbs and healing and inspiring people that there's another way besides conventional medicine. And so that you are drinking from the elixir of like a tea or the chalice is inclusive of healing your physical body in addition to healing your soul. So think not that this chalice is about activating or feeding your soul with frequency and sound and golden energy of the sun. It could be an elixir that is inclusive of olive oil, thyme, oregano, herbs, like the basil lollipops that I was telling you about, things that you eat, things that you, like little gummy bears that are made with things that actually literally not only heal your body, but your soul. I was getting into the art of smoking lavender herbs that the ancients believed that certain smokes protected you, and they wouldn't smoke it to inhale it. They smoked it so that the scent of it would cover your body and literally protect you from jerks. So that you are drinking from the elixir, and then there's a cup of tea from China or from Asia here, and you getting into, I don't know if you know this, but tea actually changes you. The makeup of your body is so healing. It's like, oh my gosh, there's all these teas that can heal you. So when you get into this study of the chalice, it will be inclusive of your physical body and your physical self, but also the chalice, the golden chalice of immortality with strengthening your spirit. So that's the class that you're in. You're in the Mary Magdalene. You're in the Mother Mary, the male and female energy. You've been rescued by these androgynous beings. Be careful of those who try to project their world onto you, because when you tether your biofield to a jerk or somebody who is spiritually dead, they will cut your power, and it literally will take you out of your ascension process. The way it goes is your ethereal net is a luminosity that surrounds your body. Through daily living, your biofield can become torn to shreds by tethering to other people. Breathing works on both the physical and the ethereal world and helps to repair your ethereal net, which is your biofield. Your biofield technology is something that you're going to get into in your celestial school learning. And I'm going to tell you a little warning here. There's going to be fools out there telling you that you are insane and that there's no such thing. But look, let me show you people who get into biofield healing. Where's my biofield? Here it is. Biofield healing. You're going to get into tuning the human biofield. You're going to get into the Sorcerer's Crossing. You're going to read here that your ethereal net is a luminosity that surrounds your physical body. It's a web of energy that gets torn to shreds during daily living from being around dead people, spiritually dead people. They are hungry and starving because they don't feed their spirit, and they try to feed off of your spirit. Huge portions of your biofield can get lost or entwined in other people's band of energy. If you lose too much vital force, you can become ill or die. You have to learn to use the chalice that you're drinking to heal both your physical and spirit. So breathing works on both the physical and ethereal levels, and it repairs damage to your ethereal net and keeps it strong and pliant. How do you do it? You have to let go of your physical body and allow your double to take over. If your awareness is tied to your double, you will not be affected by the laws of this physical world or by the jerks in it. Rather, you will be governed by ethereal forces. But as long as you're polarized by this world and you're indulging in it and in your own feelings and in this flesh too much, you will be bound and held by gravity and other constraints. So this book teaches you about how to use your energy, how to cross into the world of spirit and learn from that world to step into your power, and how to not get polarized by the flesh, which is electric. Your divine feminine self is magnetic, electromagnetism, and you're in the realm of power and healing, and you are that angel. You're learning from many sources, but it looks like you're learning to become an angel. And this angel energy is not easy. I'll tell you that. Because when I get around certain people and they start telling me fervently that their book that they're reading and their religion is 100% true, and I better believe it or I'm going to go to hell. When I get around them, I'm like, that sounds so true to me. My God, I have been insane this whole time. I must be crazy. Gosh, never mind. I'm going to go with them. But that's not true. You get pulled into their projection of their reality. And you have to know what shape is pain and what shape is pleasure or power. This is pain. That's pain. That's pain. This can be pain if it doesn't have magnetism. So this is the pain. This is the shape. The divine feminine is circular. That dominates electricity. Spirit dominates flesh, which means what? Well, the invisible Holy Spirit that has an invisible voice that is not in the written word dominates the written word. So, don't tell me that something's in the written word. What is the purpose of the Holy Spirit of truth if all of your answers come from a book? No. That flame that is within your heart will teach you the truth and help you to understand that truth. And you will not be moved or swayed by lies because you know a person by the fruit of their tree. You know a truth by whether it brings you your inner child, joy, peace, all the good things. That's true. If it brings you jerk energy, it's not true. Guilt, fear, you're going to go to hell. Nah. The truth is always the balance here. Take a picture. And guess what? Take a picture and paint it. Copy it, crop it, contrast it, paint it, mirror it, and look very deeply at what it is to be an angel, a 45-degree angle. If you guys want to get into scrying is simply something that you're called to do. You really love it. You really want to get into it. And so what you do is you connect with people who scry. So what you do is you connect with my energy. You can connect with Leonardo da Vinci. Look at their picture. Look at their eyes. Connect with them. And then say, hey, I would like to do this. And then you have to love it so much, and it's a calling for you, that you feel very strongly to do it. So I'm going to give you a collective reading today. It'll be a real quick one. And this is for all of you guys listening today from Spirit. And when you're looking at the scrying, you're going to look for sacred geometrical shapes. You're looking for numerology. You're not trying to make any certain image. You're just letting your hand flow free, being aware that you're just creating a glass to look into. It's not necessarily that you're actually making art. You're just making like a television set that has static in it, right? And then you just look, and you let yourself look for a while until something really significant begins to pour out and you begin to see some things. And so what I'm seeing is that you guys are really, really waking up, and you guys are stepping into to who you are. It's almost like a helmet is coming off of you, and the word helmet is significant here, and it has the number 1000. There is a floating balloon head again that is Helios, the false god of the sun. But it's these demons or these false truths and these things are floating away from you, and a scroll is being opened. So it looks like what's happening here is you guys are awakening to, it's almost like once upon a time when we awakened to who we were a long time ago. It's like right now we are literally awakening to that. And we were like asleep, and now we're not. And there's a book on our head, and we were polarized and in duality, and then here comes a flame in the center of the book, an eye, and it's like, whoa. And there's a lion here. And a dragonfly here. And definitely a scroll. A demon. So there's a demon wearing a cloak, and they look like a fly, and it's being held. It's being detained. It looks like a fly. And I do see the floating head people. I don't like them. Well, the Wizard of Oz had a floating head, and he represented artificial intelligence. And then he went up in a hot air balloon. It represents Helios. It's a false god. The false god is leaving us. The black guide, artificial intelligence god, is leaving us. And the divine true spirit of the fire of the Holy Spirit is returning to us. And we are waking up. You guys are waking up. That's all that's happening right now. It's a huge, huge awakening. And the divine feminine is why she looks female. But these false gods with their floating heads, I think they're demons. I think they're demons, and they're demons. And then there's these crystal people. They operate as a collective consciousness inside some kind of crystal. There's literally 3 people in there. There's a dog. Moonchild. Door. Spaceship. Okay. For y'all listening today, and it's a message for me too. We can't keep indulging in politics, religions of this world. We have to stop being worldly. We can't be causing drama and trouble with people. We're not worried about people anymore. There was a time to worry about them, interact with them, blah, 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 and worry about politics, worry about this world. and it's just not that time. So cutting the I is the white rabbit. He says white rabbit has 11 letters. I represent time. The white face of the clock with a little dot in the center is time. White rabbit represents the 11th hour. We are at the 11th hour. The rabbit is cutting an I. We have to let our I be single, not toward duality, but toward singularity. What does that mean? It means you are in a school. It's time to study. It's time to be in the school, learning to feed your spirit, become a prophet, become an oracle, become a healer, become something that you're supposed to do spiritually for this great awakening and this ascension. This means it's not time to play around and be part of and to be worldly. We have to cut that worldly self out because these demons, these things, the false Helios god is, and the energy of the dog, the inversion of God, this is going away from us. If we can stop being lazy, we have to get up. See how she's resting and she's tired? She's tired. We have to literally get up. And so this is the cow jumping over the moon. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon. We have to step into 1, 2, 3. Electrons lives forever. Protons and neutrons die. 6, 6, 6. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. If you're in duality, you're only in protons and neutrons. It is not immortality. Immortality is electrons. It comes from the sun that flips every 11 years. And it represents immortality. The dragonfly spends 1 year underwater and then comes out flying in a brand new world. And it's time that we use our elbow and block the dog and step through and step into a galactic, universal, much grander and bigger, divine, macrocosmic way of thinking. So with this hand holding this demon here is holding on to things that are false, maybe things that we smoke. You know, people often worship things that they smoke. It's like a worship. I used to be part of all kinds of drum circles and people, and it was like if I wasn't smoking with them, I was like not part of their group, right? They basically worshipped it in a way. And the way we should deal with this new world is we do not have allegiance to family. We have allegiance to our higher self. We do not have allegiance to people. We have allegiance to our higher self. Our higher self is not part of a country. Our higher self is not part of any kind of program that's part of this world. Our higher self sees our future and sees our immortality and knows how to bring us into Doctor Strange, our Wonder Woman, powerful self. When we hold on to things that the world says is okay, oh yeah, you can smoke that every day. You can do this every day. It's okay to get into this, that, because everybody's doing it. That's a lie. And we're not holding on to these lies anymore. Your higher self should have dominance over us with what we eat, what we do, and it will bring us into a whole new world. So what I'm seeing about this as a collective reading for those watching today is that some of you guys watching today are subdued by a certain smoke. And it makes you lazy, it makes you tired, it makes you have two eyes, mostly an eye that is very worldly. It makes you, I don't know if you know this, but I think it's a depressant. My kids smoke it, and I've told them not to. I don't like it that they do it, but I know that, they don't think like I do. They say, oh, it's not that big a deal. It helps me sleep, all this stuff. But I see that it makes them not able to think. And I just want you guys to know that it can be overused, and it's not supposed to be used the way it's being used right now. Be careful, because what is at hand is your transcendence, your awakening, your power. It's time. They're here. They say, we're here. You don't know we're here. We're here. The gates have opened, and these mummies that have been in here, these are beings who have been asleep for a long time. They're here. They are awakening. They are going to change things. And if you are in the dog, you won't see it. You will miss it. You'll be too high to figure out what's going on. High. The balloon. I don't care what any of you guys say. You smoke this every single day. It makes you asleep. It opens portals to demons or darkness. It opens your energy to your biofield for things to get in there. You are not becoming a master if you're smoking or drinking and stuff. So I don't know who it is that's watching today, but please be careful, okay? Because I don't care what all your friends say or what everyone else says. That will take away your power. Drink clean water. Drink hot tea with honey. Eat living foods. And I'm going to end with this. There's 2 ways that you can think about collecting power or giving your power away. And that is life and death. Life. A healthy human is about 70 to 100 hertz. A compromised immune system, you get sick if you get about 60 hertz in frequency. Death begins at 25 hertz or less. There is food that you eat that is less than 25 hertz. Soda, coffee, pasteurized, processed, imitation food, toxic food. Most food never gets above 70 hertz. Eating really isn't a very high vibe thing. Limiting what you eat is very important. Toxic food. All right? If you're following death, that's your prayer. You're praying for death. Alcohol. Drugs. This will all put you to sleep. Clean spring water. Honey. Fruits and nuts that fall off of a tree. Herbs that get blessed with the sunshine. Linen clothing, 5,000 hertz frequency. Organic cotton, only 100 hertz frequency. Rayon, 15. Polyester, about 20, I'm not sure. Nylon, less than 10 hertz. Death. Your heart chakra works best with negative ions. Negative ions comes from salt. Salt is a crystal. Himalayan sea salt has over 84 minerals. Your body, your organs needs minerals. People used to lick rocks to get a mineral content. Himalayan sea salt has over 84 minerals, and you are a natural negative ion emitter. You have salty tears and salty sweat, your body's warm. Heat and salt makes negative ions. The sun hitting the ocean makes a large amount of negative ions. You need negative ions. What does positive ions come from? Technology. Computers, cell phones is positive ions. It messes up your heart chakra. It gives you death energy. Your biofield looks like a bitten apple. It's an apple. And your biofield can get bitten. You're really supposed to have 3 rings of power, but your apple was bitten. You have to follow life energy in order to strengthen your biofield. But an apple with a bite out of it sincerely is telling you right to your face that you have a technology right in your hands that is not good for your biofield. It gives you too many positive ions. Positive ions comes from air-conditioned homes. So you can have words of life, you can have friends of life, you can have thoughts of life, you can have food of life, you can have clothing of life, you can have music of life, or you can have its opposite. And it will take your biofield and bite your apple. And you will be weak, and you will be under, and you will be seen, and you will be detained by the dark ones. Or you can choose to grow your biofield like an embryo and be powerful. It's your choice, but your action is a prayer. And I'm telling you, your action is more powerful than words. If you overeat, that's your prayer for death. You prayed for it. If you're praying for this, you're praying for death. But if you want to live and you want to have a really good life and really peaceful, really balanced, then think in terms of life and death. That's it. I know that you will be very upset. I get very upset when I know that I've overeaten, when I know that I haven't strengthened my biofield, when I have allowed myself to follow too much death. I get upset with myself and I'm like, oh, I'm so weak. I have such a weak will. My gosh, But it's really about habit, and we have to get into the habit, and we have to remember. We have to constantly look up, what is life, what is death? That's all. And it is a prayer. Yeah, we're human, of course. We are. But here's what you're saying to me. And here's what I'm saying to you. You may be a visual person. This might help you. You're saying, I'm only human. So I'm actually going to show you what Spirit has to say to you about that over here. Okay. And what I'm saying to you is you don't have to be. Make a square around here. All right. You're here. And you're just, oh, I am human, and I make mistakes, and I'm going to let myself just make mistakes. And you're under, and there's a Medusa here. There's a male god here. There's a goddess who leans over like a like this over you. Okay? But what I'm saying is there comes a precipice when you grow yourself to be able to have a technology over your head that gives you a power that makes you more than human. But you aren't just going to be given that power and that technology. No one will just give it to you. And this technology called the halo is a knowledge, a power, an awakening, a truth, a collective consciousness, your ability to be telepathic, all kinds of things. And here she is holding a wand. And we have the ability to activate our own halo technology with our own wand, our own self, through our actions, thoughts, and words. We have to activate it. We can sit there and say, I'm just human, and I don't have the power to do anything else but be human. I get that. I could do this. There's a Medusa here with snakes. She's like screaming face. And when you look at the Medusa, you're looking at the face of the human. When you look at the face of the human, it kills you. Because that's saying, I'm just this human. That's not true. You're not. And you never were. You're literally not. You are not this human. And you want to be more than a human. You want to become who you were designed to be. And you don't want to be in this reality of polarity. You don't want to be in this reality of polarity. See, to be in the body language of someone sitting and praying is in a begging position, and like it's mirroring a God that won't answer your prayers, right? So when we are begging and praying with our body language, but we're not walking, then this is saying that with our mouth and with our thoughts, we are sometimes praying, but with our feet, we're not doing anything about it, which means that's why we have no power. But when we step into the divine feminine, which is magnetism, we decide we don't want to be that anymore. We want to step into something more. And we activate ourselves through our actions, thoughts, and words, a technology called the halo technology. And it's literally puts you in a different world. This world is always threatened by the Medusa. The Medusa says, if you look at me, you'll die. And it means when we believe that we are this face and this human and this self, it kills us in a way, and it keeps us in a world of suffering. When we know for a fact we're not supposed to be begging, give us today our daily bread, lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. These are commands. And it's, of course, we use thankfulness, and we use surrender, and we use, praise and love and joy and repentance even to get to this place. But to get to this place, you have to be standing. And it's okay to be in a position where you're sitting, because we all go through the sitting phase. You are not in a box where you were in a box. You're sitting on the box now. So you're not in the box, you're sitting on the box. However, you're not standing. That's okay. You're learning to strengthen yourself so that you can stand up. Once you stand up, though, there's rules. And one of the rules is you can't go back to your human self that made the excuse that I'm just human. There's no excuse anymore. You're not allowed to use that as an excuse, because you're given room over here to be more. I don't know if that was too extreme, but that's basically what I feel like. But I'll tell you that I go over here all the time. I'm like, oh, this is me. I think this was me yesterday. But here's the thing. Once you step into this self, it's hard to go back here. You stay here way more often than you go over here. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, I see some things here, and it's somebody with a net and they're fishing, and I see all kinds of things in here that is describing gateways and portals and the god El and Aleph, and the elephant is all around her. And then this goddess is Nuit. She represents the number 11. She represents the stars. When I used to be under her body, this was me. I didn't have this technology, and I was right here. And at that time of my life, it was part of my surrender, my deathless death, and my self-slain self. And I was in this spot, and I was probably not seated. I was probably laying down. I threw many fits and felt very alone. And there were a lot of dark energies that I had when I was in this place. And then I got out of it. And so you do shift. But it is something that you have to do. You have to work at. And it's knowledge. It's knowledge, but you can activate your own halo technology through your own thoughts, actions, and words. Yeah, it's the dark night of the soul for sure. I mean, during that time, I saw so many visions. I saw truth. Oh my gosh, I blew myself up into a giant planet. I astral traveled. I was flying. I mean, there were so many things that I was awoken to. But then I started shifting timelines. And every time I woke up, and every time I did something I shouldn't have done, I got really sick, and then I would be attacked, and blah, blah, blah. But it was me not knowing how to stay out of certain realities and out of my old self. And every time I went back to the old world or old self, I would get sick. The Medusa would get me because I would look at my old self in the mirror. Basically kills you, right? And then it's a knowledge that swirls above your head and talks to you and teaches you how to stay out of timelines that aren't in your favor. And I don't know how it works, to be honest. I just know that it's a daily meditation of every day cleansing yourself and doing what your higher self says. So my higher self says, take a bath with Epsom salts, activate yourself with frequency, do breathing exercises, recapitulate every single day, do recapitulation exercises every single day, garden, water my garden, and take care of things, build things, create things, and make things beautiful. And the emanation of that will do great things for me. So that's what I do, but your higher self will tell you to do lots of things too. Yeah, you were pushed into the wrong timelines. Oh, I've been there. I've totally been there. Totally been there. But it's easy to get out through a purification exercise and through joy, comedy. So I want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the gifts. Your gifts help to pay for free readings. I do want to go back to giving free readings to you guys and on the daily so that you guys can see what Spirit has to say to you. And so sometimes I'll just do a collective, sometimes I'll do an individual, and these readings will just serve to kind of get your balance back and see if you're out of balance, if you're in the wrong timeline. It's because we, forgot. it is true that we are just human. It is true. There is a big, big shout out to that. Yes, we are just human. We forget. But we can't always use it as an excuse either. We have to try to use our mind, our thoughts and actions to become our most adept self, our most awoken self. Because I think things are waking up invisibly that we don't even know about. I have a friend who literally told me when I was driving back from Kentucky, he said, Mary, the Anunnaki, the Watchers are here. And I was like, oh, okay. He's like, I have 3 of them in a pod in a cave. And I'm like, what? He's like, they're waking up. The mummies are waking up. And the funny thing is, when he told me this, I just did a reading before the eclipse, or right at the eclipse, that the stone was being rolled away like an eclipse from that covered the sun, right? That's the stone being rolled away from the tomb, is an eclipse. It's a stone being rolled away from a tomb. And the mummies and the 3rd hour and the Egyptian book of Gates, all of it came through in the readings. Apep, the snake, everything was there. The boat of Ra, everything. It was telling us. The 3rd hour says that Ra is going to awaken these ancient gods. They're going to wake up. What's going to happen then? I don't know. They're called the Watchers. They're here. They're waking up. And we're waking up. But we better be prepared. We can't be our weak self. We have to be our most adept self. I'm not saying there's going to be a battle. I hope it's just a shift into the golden age of Aquarius, eternal spring, eternal joy, and let the jerks be jerks. But we have to grow. Spirits can't just keep repeating on a treadmill over and over and over again with the same old story. We have to become more. We have to be growing. And this means more knowledge. This means changes of behavior. This means changes of things. And otherwise, if you stop growing, you miscarry your future. We have to feed that and grow that. I love you guys. Go out in nature. Hug a tree. Plant a flower. Uh-oh. Here you go. And don't take spirituality too seriously. Let your inner child be happy living in the moment. Don't think about tomorrow or yesterday. Be a good mommy to your inner child. Be a good father to your inner child. Your inner child doesn't want to think about tomorrow or yesterday. Wants to believe in magic. You believe in magic, and you hear a beautiful song in your heart, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Love you so much. Bye-bye.